I've got my Lover poster, I've got my Lover Taylor Swift crop shirt on, and I have Lover Deluxe Edition version 4. And today we're doing the Taylor Swift Lover book tag. I found several of these. The one I'm doing is by Jackie Reads and Writes, and I'll link the original down below. And I'm going to use this kind of as an opportunity to talk about not only the books and my answers to the questions, but also to talk about how I feel about these songs because I love this album. A book that I wish I could erase from my memory is Dare Me by Megan Abbott. This is the first Megan Abbott book I ever read, and I gave it 1 star. I did not like it at all, and I wish I could erase it because since then I've read 3, I believe, other Megan Abbott books, and I've enjoyed them. I've liked all 3 of them. So I'm wondering if Dare Me was a fluke, if it really is that bad, or if I just wasn't ready for it at that time. So I wish I could just erase it, wipe the slate clean, and read it again because I think I would probably end up enjoying it. I sometimes forget that this song exists, not because I don't like it. It's catchy, it's fun. It's just average for me in context of the album. So I'll listen to it like if I listen to a full out through run through of the album, but it's not one that I'm like, oh, I just really need to listen to that song in particular. A villain that I love, easy. Queen Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles. I love her. Like, I don't know what it is. I just love her. Like you're telling me, if you had the ability to glamour yourself, you wouldn't. I would every day. Like, yeah, she does terrible things, but I love her, and that's just all there is to it. I've read this a few times, her origin story. Obviously, you can see I've tabbed it up to bits, and I'm unapologetically a Queen Lavanna stan. So I really, 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 really love this song. It's one of my favorites on the album. It's one of the ones that has the most plays out of the album for me. I love the lyrics. I like the just grooviness of it. I really like the part where she says, I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? He looks up, grinning like the devil. That's a great part. I don't know if this is really the first couple I ever shipped, but it's one of the ones that I remember feeling the strongest about once I started getting back into reading and like tracking my reading, and that is Penryn and Rafe from the Angel Fall series by Susan E. I really liked this series, and I loved those 2 characters together. Looking back, I don't know if I would enjoy this series and them as a pairing as much as I did when I read it, but at the time, I was a big stan for Penryn and Rafe. Editing Allison here to say I forgot to film a clip about Lover the song, but it's one of the best of her career, and I will listen to it on repeat until the day I die. I didn't even write an explanation for this one. If you've read the book, you know, and if you haven't read the book, read the book, and then you'll know a character, a female character who deserves better. Sadie. I like this song. I don't think it's one of my favorites, but it's also not anywhere near the worst. I like the overall message of it, but I think the execution could have been a little bit better. No shade. I do love Leo and Saint-Tropez, that line though. That's pretty good. Now, when I was preparing for this tag and I was like typing out all my answers and seeing what they all were, I told myself you can't use the same series a lot because it just gets annoying and repetitive. Well, sue me, this series comes up like 3 times. And no surprise, it's Six of Crows. And the couple, the will they, won't they couple, the people that just need to get together, obviously Kaz and Inej. Obviously there's feelings there. Obviously they have their reasons for not being together. But my God, just make it happen. Like, are you kidding me? Is this a joke? When this song first came out, I really liked it just because compared to the first 2 songs that she dropped, which we'll talk about later, I thought it was good. I thought it was what I was looking for from Taylor. In the context of the album, it's kind of boring in my opinion, but I still like it and I'll still listen to it. Is there any other answer? Come on. I Think He Knows. I think it's so fun. I think it is catchy and it reminds me of Carly Rae Jepsen. I don't know how she's going to hit those notes live. But yeah, I love it. I love singing this one in the car. Windows down, except it's, getting to winter now, so we're not going to have windows down. But volume up, singing this in the car. I love this song. I racked my brain for an answer to this song question for a long time. I ended up going to my blog, my now defunct Books and Box blog, my book baseball crossover disaster, and I scrolled back to March of 2016, and it said that I was in a reading slump. It said I was slumping, I kept putting things down, whatever. The book that got me out of that slump apparently was Elusive by Emily Lloyd Jones. I remember reading this. I kind of remember what it was about. I guess I liked it. It got me out of a slump. So kudos to Emily Lloyd Jones for writing this slump buster. Have I read anything else in this series? Is it a series? Have I read anything else by her? No. But It has some importance in my life. It got me out of a slump, so way to go. From the title alone, when we got the track list, I was like, yikes, that sounds kind of weird, but I like it again. I like that it has a lot of different meanings. I think it does have a political reading of it that I think is very interesting. I really like the cheerleading aspects of the chorus and the bridge. And yeah, I like the way she sounds on it. I like the storytelling of it. I think it's great. We all have different ideas of what underappreciated, underrated, whatever means, but my answer is The Abyss Surrounds Us duology by Emily Skrutsky. Now, the first book has under 5,000 ratings. The second book has under 2,000 ratings. And that's criminally low for this series. I love this series. It's exciting, it's gay, it's fun. It has like weird, like gigantic mechanical sea creatures. It's amazing. If you haven't read this, pick them up now. The trend is continuing where I just say I really like this song, but I do like Paper Rings. It's fun. It's not one of my favorites. I don't think it's one of her like best pieces of songwriting ever, but it's fun. And I really like the part, I hate accidents, except when we went from friends to this. That's a cute line. I really like that one. This is kind of maybe a predictable answer. Ari and Dante. Does it make sense that they would stay together forever? Probably not. I mean, they're teenagers, like falling in love for the first time. Do I want to ever read them breaking up or read their story ending? No. So they're my answer. If they ever break up in text, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a sequel for this eventually, if they break up, I'm going to riot and I'm just going to pretend it never happened because this is everything to me. Cornelia Street is gorgeous. I like there's this part at the end where you can hear like windshield wipers. I think that's really cool and adds to the atmosphere of the song. I like the lyrics. I like the way she sounds. Like the same thing. I'm saying the same thing for all these songs that I like. I like the lyrics. I like the way she sounds on it. It's just a good fucking song. I think maybe I saw this coming a little, but I did not see it coming to the extent that it came. And that is the death of our main character, Adelina, in The Midnight Star by Marie Lu. I really enjoyed this series, but this book particularly the ending, tore me up. I don't read a lot of books where the main character dies. Like, I could probably count them on one hand where the main character POV dies. And this one, the way it was written and the way it was done was beautiful, and it'll stick with me for a really long, like it has stuck with me for years and it'll continue to do so. And it was devastating. Adelina, technically, she's a villain. Technically, I love the fuck out of her. I don't care if she's a villain, if she's a hero. Her death tore me apart. Death by a Thousand Cuts is my most played song on the album. I absolutely love it. The bridge is insane. A lot of people don't like the my's at the beginning. I think they're great. I just love this song in general. I love that it's inspired by a Netflix movie that I also really like. It's so good. I love this song. I'm not holding this book up because I've already held it up twice. His book is over there. It's Nikolai. I could not think of another answer. I don't swoon over a lot of characters. It's Nikolai. Whatever. London Boy, kind of like I Forgot That You Existed. It's just there for me. I don't listen to it like every time I'm listening to songs from this album. I like the way it sounds. I don't like the lyrics at all, except for Home is Where the Heart Is, but God, I Love the English. I like that part, but everything else is just, I can leave it. Not necessarily the character death, but more of what the death meant, and that would be Lenny's mom in The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. When Lenny's mom died, I sobbed. I sobbed through a lot of this book, but more so when that happened, just because of what these two characters went through throughout the whole book up until this moment of Lenny's mom's death. It broke my heart. It shattered me. This book is incredible. If you haven't read it, read it. Be prepared to cry. Have a lot of tissues. And yeah, be prepared for that death. I guess if you haven't read it, you're now spoiled, so you're going to know what's coming. Just read it. This song I don't listen to a lot because it's just, like, it's good, but it's not something I'm pulled towards just because of, like, the context and everything about it. I wish that the featuring the Dixie Chicks part meant that they had, like, their own little section, but I also understand why, like, it's Taylor's song about her mother and, like, that whole story, so I can understand why they're not taking a bigger spot on it, but I just wish they had more to do. And, I mean, yeah, it's good. It's really good. In terms of songwriting and the way everyone sounds together, I love it, but I just don't listen to it a lot, like, by choice. I've only read book 1 of this series, and that is The Raven Boys. I did not like The Raven Boys. I gave it 2 stars. And to this day, I don't know what I'm missing about it or what other people see in it that I don't that made me not like it. I didn't like the characters. I thought it was boring. Um, the general idea was good, obviously, because I wanted to read it, and obviously the hype made me want to read it. But I didn't like it, and I only read book one. I don't want to read the rest. And when I see people talk about it, I just don't get it. I'm confused. And that's all there is to it. When I first listened to the album, False God didn't really stand out to me until like maybe the third or fourth listen, and now I love it. I think it's so different than things that Taylor has done before. I think it's sexy and fun, and I really like the ramblingness of the lyrics and the verses, where it just kind of feels like there's no real melody. It's just kind of like she's just rambling on and on. I really like that. And yeah, it's sexy. Her SNL performance of this was great. I have never felt so upset and so angry about a book when I was done as this book. And it is Whatever Life Throws at You by Julie Cross. I'm pulling up my review on Goodreads. I read this book years ago. I read this book in, please hold, 2015. That's 4 years ago. This book inspired me to write a really lengthy, actually cohesive review. I don't do that. So you know this book's something special. I gave this book 1 star. It's a romance based on a girl and a guy who's a Major League Baseball player. I love baseball. I was all in. Give me the romance. I can't. It has like a 4 something rating, and I don't understand why. I don't know why I'm the person that hates it. So much about this, so much about the baseball aspects of this threw me off. I just can't. This guy, he's like a reliever, and then he was starting games, and then he was getting like 6 games in a row, and then he came into the World Series and threw like a perfect game or something. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it on my review, but I don't want to just be staring. I don't get it. Like, that just doesn't happen. You don't go from relieving to starting to throwing perfect games to pitching in the World Series, and you're a rookie. It was his first year. And then I hated the main girl. I just didn't like her. And this book, it caused me so much pain to read this book, and I'll never forget it. You need to calm down. Automatic skip for me every time. No. I'm sad when a lot of books are over, but in recent memory, All the Bad Apples by Moira Foley Doyle and Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. When these ended, I was really sad because I loved both these books, and I wish they just went on forever. I like Afterglow a lot. I really like, again, I'm saying I like some of the lyrics. I like the way she sounds. I like the whole atmosphere of this song, and I just wish it wasn't sandwiched between 2 duds, but it does bring a bright spot to the end of this album. This was really hard for me because I relate to like aspects of characters, but like there's not one character I'm like, oh, she, me. And so I was just gonna be like, I don't relate to anyone because this song is me and I'm the only one of me. Baby, that's the fun of me. He, he, he. But if you want a serious answer, on page 42 of The Way You Make Me Feel by Maureen Gu, the main character, Clara, says, or does, this is her POV, "The tea burned my tongue and I put it down." Same. I can relate. Thank you. So when Me first came out, I tried to justify it. I tried to be like, yeah, this song's okay, but I can't listen to it now. I can't do it. I was mad that her first single had a feature, even though I do like Brendan Urie. I was mad that her first single was this bad. I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad about Hey Kids spelling is fun. I have 2 answers for this. The first is The Familiar Relationships and The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I thought this family unit was incredibly well done. I thought the dynamics between all of the members were great. I thought there were like equal amounts of happy moments, like angry at each other moments. It was just perfect. This family unit, I have not seen a family unit as well done as this one, maybe ever. Yeah. This is amazing. And then for friendships and also family, The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Monty and his sister, and then Monty and Percy, Felicity, like all of that happening is great. I love the dynamics in this book. It's nice to have a friend. I don't listen to this song. I'll admit it. I think the idea behind it is cute in that it's like going from friendships to eventually being married to this person who's like your forever friend, whatever. I just don't like the way it sounds. It sounds like the Big Little Lies theme song to me, but in a bad way. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm really excited to read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. It comes out today as of filming this, October 5th, and I'm so excited. I really, really wished it would have been a book of the month choice. It wasn't. Oh well, I'll buy it. But I'm really excited. I really liked The Night Circus, and I don't even know a lot about this one. I kind of read the synopsis. He's at a college and he finds this book in the library, and there's this little like snippet that says a place of pirates, painters, lovers, liars, and ships. I love pirates and ships and all that crap, so give it to me. I'm so excited to read it. Daylight, I love the way this closes out the album. This song has maybe one of my favorite lyrics on the entire album on it, which is I used to think love would be golden red. No. I used to think love would be burning red, but it's golden. Is that the exact line? Anyways, because it throws back to the song Red off the album Red, which is one of my favorite songs on that album, which is one of my favorite albums. And yeah, I love the song. I like the spoken word outro. It's not necessary, but it's cute. And I just like the song overall wrapping up the album. So there you have it, the Taylor Swift Lover book tag. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you enjoy the album. We can talk about Taylor all the time, anytime. So leave me a comment if you have something to say. Tell me which album's her best, which song's your favorite. I'll talk about Taylor all the time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.